All right, welcome Raghu to Adapt Security Edge. I hope you've had a good day so far. And like we were talking about before, I understand that Veolia is a critical infrastructure company within Australia and New Zealand. And we recently had a new cybersecurity refresh for the whole country that definitely impacts critical infrastructure companies. What is the impact? What is the expanse of impact on your organization right now?
Yes, so Veolia is a global organization. We work in 48 countries globally, provide essential services across water, waste, energy, recycling. So we call ourselves resources. That's a tag that we go by. And because of the nature of the business that we are in and the kind of services that we provide, especially in and around recycling and water treatment, so on and so forth, a lot of these new regulations for critical sites apply to us. So as you've seen recently, there's been a Prime Minister's announcement around targeted attacks on national's critical infrastructure. So these are the kind of things that actually brings a lot of those concerns to people who already have those concerns. So people like us who already know this as a global organization. So any of those compliance changes and the collaboration that's expected, all those things are something that we as an organization participate in.
Okay.
So for example, the ACSC, the Australian Cybersecurity Centre, so they've got various techniques in how you protect your organization and what you do and collaboration and sharing of that information. So all that kind of things are something we leverage as an organization. And the sites that are critical, that are need to go the extra mile to make sure we're compliant with those standards. It could be regulatory compliance requirements from those kind of entities. So yes, it has an impact in the sense that we got to do more, and we got to be more thorough in terms of how we facilitate and manage those expectations.
Okay, considering that you are across, not related to the strategy, but 48 countries and managing all of that must be really difficult. How do you do that?
Yeah, so I think in some sense it's a strength for Veolia. Globally, because of the operations, we've got a huge community internally within Veolia.
Okay.
So we've got
cybersecurity
community, and that's growing in the sense there's been a lot of emphasis on us collaborating globally. So, for example, if there's an attack in one part of the world with a specific kind of attack, then that's something we all share and learn, so that we don't have to put up with the same kind of attack. So we learn the learnings, and then we say quickly, how do we stop ourselves and secure ourselves from similar kind of threats? And there are a lot of things that come out as policies and procedures and standards, and there's expectations on how all countries need to kind of secure their own environments. And as part of that, we all go with our learnings, share our experiences. So it's actually a very good position to be in, where it's a collective effort and you're not fighting that by yourself. And that applies to the same locally as well. So we share a lot of information with similar like-minded people and build that network. It's all about sharing the knowledge, I guess.
And if you're going to, first question, will you be introducing new processes and systems that aligns with the new cybersecurity strategy to kind of comply with that?
In the sense, yes. For example, there is regulations to say that you need to have minimum standards achieved for certain kind of criticality.
Right.
So that we have to be mature, and we have to comply with those regulations and requirements.
Right.
So we actually bring in more processes to not bring in more processes, but enhance what we have got. So we've already got existing processes in place, and then we improve on those to make sure that we meet those requirements and get better on that, because we've got yearly audits to see how we are performing, and then are we meeting the minimum requirements, so on and so forth. So that actually is a continuous improvement process for us. So it's not just bringing in a new thing, but what we do is we actually collaborate with the industry peers and the ACSC, for example, to make sure we learn of what ACSC tells us, and also like-minded critical infrastructure providers and essential services providers or utility providers.
Interesting. And if that kind of leads to processes and systems and efficiencies, then do the other community, your internal community, do they kind of replicate it across the 48 countries? Does that ever happen just as a byproduct of,
Yeah, absolutely. So if a specific country has done something really, really good,
Yeah.
Like for example, if they have automated a specific process to say, hey, they've, I'm going to use some of the technical terms here
Yeah,
for
sure.
those who are interested. So if there's a network detection technology that they
Yeah.
have, kind of utilized in a part of the world, and they've had good results. So that story kind of gets shared. And
Interesting.
then we take that story and then we implement it in our part of the world, or if we have got an automation capability that we have built that is saving a lot of time and effort in our part of the world and it's given us good results, then we share that with other counterparts in other countries as a story, a success story. And we actually go and implement and kind of share that knowledge so that we learn of each other, so that we're not reinventing the wheel all over again.
That's very interesting, Raghu. So for next year, if there has to be, one focus or top 3 focus that you would like to talk about?
That's a very interesting question. I think a lot of new projects and initiatives that are being delivered in terms of improving our cyber capability in terms of technology and tools. So reviewing those and making sure that we are implementing them in the right fashion, so they're actually being very effective. So that's one. And then the last but not least, continuous focus on educating our users. So security awareness is a big thing. We take that very seriously, and we're putting continuous effort in terms of improving that knowledge and educating our users to help with our overall program.
That's interesting. Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Raghu. This was incredible.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.